Yeah, I know. I know.
Mute your mic, you Mark. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are back here for another episode of a Friday Night Movie Club, and we have a very, very Hispanic theme for the show here tonight. I think the best way to do the introduction is to add a little bit of mariachi music to get everyone in the mood. Don't you agree with that one? Let's start playing just a little bit of the song here. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Friday Night Movie Club number 60, and we are here tonight, and we're going to go ahead and introduce our lovely cast of cohorts joining us here tonight. First, I want to give our good buddy Cider here a shout out here. How you doing
today,
Cider? Ole!
I'm honorary Mexican tonight, huh? Mm-hmm. What's up with you, Ente? Huh?
Ole,
it's good to be Friday, huh? We made it. Yeah, we made it, Ente. We made it. All the way to Friday. Yeah!
You sound Italian, actually.
It does.
Also joining us today is Este Cabron, Mr. Rick Aragon. How you doing today, Rick?
Que rollo ese Holmes! Here representing the barrio ese. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta play, but you're playing the wrong music. You gotta play like Tigres del Norte. Oh, Puerta Negra here, ese Holmes, okay?
Whoa. Can you say that word?
Yeah,
no, he's Mexican. He can say it. It's cool.
Yeah, it's all about Rata here.
Also joining us today is Vera Loca, Mr. Nicole Classic Cage. How you doing today, Cassie?
I'm good. I don't know why I'm here, but I'm here.
You're here to enjoy the Hispanic festivities tonight, and then of course, Oz. How you doing?
Thanks. TP
I don't
for
know
my
why.
bunghole. That's all I know.
I don't know why he's here either.
I don't know why I'm here either. I'm just a white guy with cement to make a great things great.
Well,
you notice the music came to a screeching halt the second you started talking.
In the white guy. In the white guy.
If you ever saw Blood In, Blood Out, also known as Bound by Honor, we had one token white guy, although technically he was Mexican, but he was basically white. So it was like you fit in, Oz. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Thanks.
I got you, Holmes. I got you.
You have all that stuff.
So you guys should know by now how we're gonna do this. We're doing the first 30 so minutes of this show on YouTube, on Rumble, and on Twitch. And then once we get on with the movie portion of our show, we're gonna be switching over to Rumble and Twitch exclusively. So you guys have the links in our chat. I'll even shoot you guys the links later on if you want to keep playing with the whole stream, but we won't be on YouTube for the whole night. But I do have a couple people I want to shout out here before we get started. Excuse me. Excalibur here is joining us here on Twitch, saying he thought that I was going to play La Cucaracha. I did consider playing La Cucaracha. However, I thought it would be a little too on the nose, so I have to go with something just slightly more obscure that you guys can figure out there.
Telling you,
What
Puerto
about-
Negra, Tigres del Norte. That's the Mexican American
What-
national anthem. You got to play it at every wedding, quince, bar
rather-
mitzvah.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's just November, I would totally go for Feliz Navidad. Let's go.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
that's-
too early.
What about
never
Day-O?
over. Early,
No, it's
bro.
November. It's November. It's already November, so you can start playing
Yeah.
Christmas music.
Can I come?
Oh, yeah.
Or Easy
Technically,
Rider.
You can play it in July too, but you risk your
Easy
life.
Rider
then.
works.
Our good buddy Top Dog is also here tonight. He has a question for us right out of the gate. What would you say for a better theme song, Kenan and Kel or All That?
Kenan and Kel.
Oh, all that.
I love all that. All that.
I gotta go with All That. Man.
I've got no dog in this
There's
fight.
something slightly more nostalgic about TLC than Coolio for me, so I would
Yeah.
have to go with that one. Yeah.
Big
Now, if
facts.
you're asking me a better show, I think I lean a little slightly towards Kenan and Kel because for me, All That was really good in like the first, I say 3 seasons, and then like the latter 3 seasons didn't hold up very well. And then they had that weird reboot where they got rid of all the black characters and did like an all white version, and that one was just kind of weird.
Huh?
And then,
I'm
yeah.
glad I don't remember that.
That was the reverse diversity there.
Wow.
That was back when you had like Lisa Foyles on and all that, and it was just like, let's not bring up that era. That era is not great. And then of course Cassie has to show her cat on stream, just like all other women on Twitch. How you doing?
La banda loca and la gata
Ziggy.
loca.
Ziggy runs the show here, so it is what it is.
So I'm gonna have to start this show off with this because I've been the person single-handedly hyping up this series. I'm going to continue to hype up this train no matter how bad this show looks because Echo is the greatest show of all time. And it's coming out. We finally got a trailer and we have a confirmed date of when this thing is releasing. So January the 10th is when we're going to get all 5 episodes of Echo on Disney Plus, and we will be reviewing the full series of Echo in a future episode of the Barroom podcast. All 5 episodes will be reviewed.
You will
on
be
this
doing
show.
that. Not
Yeah.
me.
Yep. All you,
Well,
buddy.
didn't it start out with like 8, and then it went down to 6, and now we're down to 5?
Yeah, now we're at 5, and who knows? By the time January comes around, it might be 4. Nobody really knows. But a couple of interesting things that came out with Echo today. There was a couple of confirmations that sort of worried people. But if you guys don't know about Echo by now, let me give you just a little bit of a rewind here. Disney decided that they were going to give a full-blown Disney Plus series to a woman who, keep in mind, is in real life a real disabled, one-legged Native American actress who has never acted in anything in her entire
Yeah.
life prior to this series. So
I have a serious question now.
go ahead.
Is her head CGI'd on a body because her face looks like she should be 500 pounds, but she's not?
She looks like a.
So
She looks like a.
No.
She looks like a baked potato.
She
I
was the
think she's
stunt
just
double
Native
for
American.
yeah, she was a stunt
Oh.
double for Lily Gladstone.
Yes. Let's talk about Lily Gladstone and all the articles that was written about her weight over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, she was
But-
obese.
Yeah, exactly right. But yeah, so Echo is a character who is a Native American, one-legged, disabled, possibly lesbian. We've said possibly lesbian because we haven't seen the show yet, but possibly, but mostly likely lesbian. Named Maya Lopez. Even though she has the name Maya Lopez, she is a Native American woman, not Hispanic.
Yeah.
So she only has the last name here. But this show has been an absolute disaster. So this was supposed to come out, I think, about a year ago. The show was supposed to come out. It got delayed several times. I think at one point they literally rewrote half the episodes because of how bad they were. It was supposed to be an 8-episode series at the very beginning. The content was so bad they cut it down to 6. And then after putting together 6 episodes, they realized they didn't have the content for 6, so they cut it down to 5. And here we currently are, and it's so bad. it's not even getting the typical Disney Plus treatment of we're just gonna release this episode 1 week after another. No, we're just gonna give it to you all one shot on January the 10th here. But the trailer finally got announced, and a couple things we got confirmed here. This is gonna be the first TVMA rating for a Disney Plus show. It's gonna have a simultaneous debut on Hulu as well, so it's gonna be on 2 different platforms. So I'm pretty sure the numbers are gonna be absolutely great for this one. And they're saying, it's
Jesus
history
Christ.
because the lead is Native American and she's deaf. So I don't even know if this woman can actually speak in real life. But they literally, like, this is how bad Disney is. They were like, okay, so we're gonna do a show about a Native American with one leg who's deaf. So who do we cast for here? Oh, let's actually find a Native American who with one leg who's deaf. Okay, can she act? No, but she fits the profile. So let's give her 8 episodes, and this is as far as they planned it out. So yeah, it comes out January 10th. It contains several firsts, which I'm pretty sure is going to put a lot of butts in the seats. Several firsts nobody really cares about. But director and executive producer Sidney Freeland, who's also responsible for Reservoir Dogs. So once again, they're like, well, you're used to working with Native Americans, so we'll put you on control of this show as well. It's the first ever character. This series is centered around a deaf Native American woman, Maya Lopez. Aqualia Cox, I believe is her name, who made her debut 2 years ago in the Hawkeye series. And keep in mind, Hawkeye might be the best MCU Disney Plus series by default, only because it was competent enough that there was nothing so awful that you could point out, unlike all the other shows that have come out since then. But she comes out here and says that representation was extremely important to myself and everyone on the crew. Yeah, it was so important you didn't even have an actual story for the show. Keep in mind, you lost 3 episodes as the course of this whole creative process went on because all you cared about was hiring a girl who clearly can't act. But from a press series from last month, where she joined executive producer Brad Winterbum here, who's also the head of television at Marvel. The filmmaker said that the show has indigenous and deaf representation, both in front and behind the camera. Ooh, so we even got deaf people controlling the camera. That's great. Freeland says that who's Navajo, grew up in the Tribes Reservation in New Mexico, said that she grew up reading Marvel comic books and attending powwows, which is a tradition Native celebration involving dancing, drum playing, singing, and hopefully not scat pulling. The powwows to me seems like something somebody in Anaheim is going to Disneyland, but Freeman said that the 2 constants in her life that never overlap, which is something that she felt looking forward to, connecting to Echo throughout the development and production of this series. We've talked about the production of this series. It's just been an absolute mess. And keep in mind, her selling point for people watching this series halfway through this article is she's deaf and she's Native American. Okay, great. What about the actual story? Because we don't have one. So I'll just go ahead and play the trailer here for this. This is the official Echo trailer. I want you to keep in mind something as we watch this, is that they're not really giving you much to go off of, and there's a reason for that, and I'll touch up on it here. But this is the official trailer for Echo, which comes out in essentially 2 months.
Maya. I see everything that you are. I always have.
The fuck?
That's Kingpin, by the way, just in case you guys couldn't hear. And what we see here is that Kingpin is viciously beating up an ice cream vendor because he didn't give the little girl ice cream because he couldn't understand sign language. So clearly that's his fault. So now he's beating her to death.
Don't be afraid. You have so much pain in you.
Did you catch that? She has one leg, guys. Did you catch the one leg?
Yeah, we saw it.
Well, make sure you guys caught that.
Sure. Yep.
So much rage that you kept contained it. are the same.
I just wanted to point this out just real quick, just for a second before the end there. They're doing a choreographed fight scene. She clearly whiffs with one of the punches, and they left it in the final cut. This is how bad this is. Just watch this real quick.
Are the same. So, who's the monster?
So there you go. I've seen better stunt choreography in the WWE versus what I saw in that video here. I mean, you created a Disney Plus show based on a woman who can't speak, and somehow thought that this would make for 8 great episodes, and now we have 5. It's like you broke it and then you just swept it under the rug, and then this is the pile that we have left now. So I guess I'll start off with Cassie, because I'm going to force her to watch all 5 of these episodes here. What do you think of Echo,
Funny,
the
bro.
television series?
Yeah.
Are you hyped? Are you excited?
Oh, I'm so excited to not watch this hot steaming pile of shit. The one thing that I got from that trailer that you've unfortunately made me have to sit through, is the reality, and this is the base part of it, that the panderers are the evil ones. So that's what I got from the trailer. Good job, Disney, you dumb fuckheads. You basically reiterated that you, in fact, Disney, are the evil motherfuckers that you are by this trailer alone. So thanks for that.
Yeah, Rick, are you more excited now, since I've hyped this up for several months now, that you're finally going to see it live in person? Is this the first Marvel show that you're actually going to thoroughly enjoy?
Well, this is the first Marvel show that I'm actually going to watch, because I've never seen any of them, and I've never had an interest in seeing any of them. But this will be a live version of a Kids in the Hall sketch, basically. If you ever saw Kids in the Hall, and I've mentioned this before.
Great show.
Oh
Yeah, where they were doing an art class, and the students started complaining about the lack of representation, and finally the professor, not out of anger but just out of frustration, just said, I'm sorry, it's just that, was it fat, crippled, lesbian black women are so hard to find, or something like that. It's like, you narrow it down to this point. I think there might be a problem with this show, in that, all right, if she's deaf, she's going to have to. She already does sign language, correct? I mean, we saw that in the trailer.
Yep.
We saw in the trailer. You need one of two things. You need either subtitles, or you need someone there to say the words, because the vast majority of people either are not deaf or do not know sign language. So how is she actually going to communicate without someone? I mean, we're going to have to rely on the subtitles here. How long? I'm just curious, Jacob. How long are these episodes, though? Are they like half hour or a full hour?
I think they might be full hour.
Okay.
I think.
Oh God.
I'm not 100%.
Well, guess
certain,
what, Rick?
But because if
If
it's
you don't figure
following
it out, if you don't figure it out, Rick, you're a bigot.
yeah.
That's right.
Well,
I think they're following the same line of the Daredevil series, because once again they're throwing out Kingpin and Daredevil to get the little jingling of the keys to get. Hey, remember those Netflix shows you guys loved several years ago? Well, we got a couple of those characters back.
no. When he says that we're exactly the same, I'm thinking, so you're also a one-legged, deaf, mute, possibly lesbian Native American? Is that the gist of it? And look,
He is.
I'll say this much: D'Onofrio looks pretty good as Kingpin. But I don't know how this show is going to go. I'm actually going to give it the benefit of the doubt, but we're probably stretching the idea of representation to now the point of parody, where you need a one-legged, possibly lesbian, deaf, mute, Native American.
Well, we're going for all the check boxes on this show, all of them.
Oh.
Everyone.
Mm-hmm.
But this is just the first season. I presume they want a second season.
And a third.
And yes,
That's when she'll.
Rick. First
That's
season,
when she'll be a man.
They barely produced 5 episodes. You're talking about a season.
They made a
calm down
trailer.
there.
Yeah,
Right.
but
They
think
They
about
made
it.
When
a
it-
trailer.
I
They
think
made a
Disney will
great
call it
trailer.
a dub if they just don't go under at this point.
Mhm.
Yeah, but dumping it all. Look, I know there was someone, and I sent this to you guys. There's someone that I've grown rather fond of, who is very excited about having all the episodes released at once and sees it as a sign of good faith from the Disney
Yeah.
company. This kid is obviously either insane or just incessantly optimistic to the point of idiocy. But we'll take a look. I'm actually looking forward to this. I'm actually looking forward to seeing Echo.
Mm-hmm.
And see, maybe
This-
she'll pop up in the Marvelettes.
This is only going to go two ways. This is either going to be one of the worst television shows we've ever seen in our life, or somehow by accident, this may be a tolerable television show, which honestly is the worst case scenario if you think about it. I mean, if you're hyping yourself up for like the worst ever and then it's only like mediocre, I mean, that's almost worse, right?
Look, they wasted a monster truck scene in this travesty, okay?
Yeah.
I guarantee you're going to hate it. They had to put monster trucks in a Marvel production to keep the audience interested. Just calculate that for a minute, right? Monster trucks in a universe where you have a man in a piece of armor flying through the sky at well over Mach 8, okay?
Mhm.
And
Well, he's dead
monster
now. Oh,
trucks.
no, they're going to bring him back too. So
Exactly. Maybe that's what the last 3 episodes of Echo were about. She brings Tony Stark back to life through the power of vengeance and one leg.
Mhm.
Well, you might have probably summoned the spirits, done a ghost dance and
Yeah.
Right,
directed
right.
them this way. I
Yeah,
don't know.
like Native American resurrected him. Yeah.
Yeah, but remember that's what happened in Poltergeist, right? Didn't they?
Yeah, they'll pull Tony out of a TV.
Oh god.
It'd be great. And he won't speak sign language, so he won't understand a damn thing about what she's doing. She's just waving her hands in his face and he's screaming. It'd be great.
Well, I
Great.
mean, she might be able to read lips. I don't know.
No, he won't be able to understand her. So he's just going to be laying on the floor screaming with the static television in the background. It's perfect. It's peak
why?
Joss Whedon. They'll bring him back for it. I guarantee it.
Why?
Mm-hmm. Or him or Bryan Singer. But I mean, it is X-Men.
Both at
technically,
the
so
same
it's like-
time. They could double team the franchise. It'll be great.
I love the fact
Good
how
time.
the woman in charge here basically already went on record to say that, this character's not going to have any of the powers from the comic books because those are just weird and lame. It's like, it's already an extremely obscure superhero to begin with. So most of the people watching this are not even going to know what the hell her powers is going into it. And then you're going to sit there and tell them, well, her comic book powers are dumb anyway. So we're just going to do our own thing. So like, why does the show even exist? You're not even following the format of the
Her
most
powers is
obscure.
she's a crippled.
Exactly. Her powers is that she has above
in the second season she loses the other leg. All right.
she has above average speed for someone with one leg. That's her superpower.
Yeah.
Yo.
That's great.
Oh my
Special Olympian level strength and speed.
Oh
That's
my
right.
gosh.
You see? Special.
So her
Olympian.
legs made out of Wolverine's titanium. That's what it is.
I think technically it would be a Paralympics, not Special Olympics.
Shh. Don't do
I-
that.
I
Don't
thi-
ruin
I
it
think
for
she'll-
me. Don't ruin it for me.
I think she. You know what? You know what's
God. Who
happened?
knows? She might be special too. That's another check
That's
mark,
right.
right?
She's
That's right.
special.
Okay, this is what's going to happen.
Maybe
Special.
she slurs her sign language.
No, what's going to happen is that she's going to end up in the Invictus Games, and then the Duchess of Sussex will come, and she'll use her powers to make Meghan Markle the new queen and
Oh.
overthrow Camilla and or elevate Harry.
Oh.
That's where they had to cut those 3 last episodes because it usurps the throne, and we just can't do that yet.
And Meghan Markle will, earn her place as both the
Oh,
queen
God.
and the first female president because she will run.
Oh, fuck. Oh.
This is going to be the greatest show of all time. Echo,
Yeah.
January 10th. Like I said, full 2-hour episode of the Bar Room we dedicated to this show, and I can't wait. It's going to be great.
Grab your
Yeah.
vegetables, folks.
I'm
Grab
gonna
your
have to
vegetables.
I'm gonna have to ask for the
Like,
day.
grab
I'm
your
gonna ask for the
fucking
whole day
booze.
off so I could be ready.
Absorb it.
Well, before we go on to our next topic here, I did wanted to bring up something. So earlier today, I saw a film called The Marsh King's Daughter. and it stars Daisy Ridley. Now, I'm going to ask you guys this question just real quick and see what you guys answer here. We all know Daisy Ridley from the Star Wars, Disney Star Wars, and Rey. So let me just ask you a quick question. What is the best Daisy Ridley movie you've seen that is not the Star Wars films?
None.
Nothing.
No.
Exactly.
Jack shit.
Extremely confidently that this is the best Daisy Ridley movie ever. Because, I mean, if you look at what she's been in, obviously the Disney Star Wars movies are just terrible in and of itself, and she hasn't really been in anything significant outside of those movies. So I can report to you that I was pleasantly surprised to see how she came off in this film here. So it's a film called The Marsh King's Daughter. I'll pop her back up here for a second. And kind of the setup for this film, this is a psychological thriller from Lionsgate. So it's a lower budget movie. You got some writers and directors here who are far more competent than the ones who work at Disney. The writer of this film is the same guy who wrote The Revenant, the film that Leonardo DiCaprio won an Academy Award for a couple of years ago. And
a big ass forehead.
Oh yeah, this is the reason why I call her.
Thing.
There's a reason why I call her Brick Face, but that's for another conversation.
And another positive to this too is that Lionsgate is on the lower scale of wokeness when judged
apparently
on the wokeness meter.
Apparently they're on the lower on the totem pole when it comes to, like, woke movies. But essentially the setup here is that her mother was kidnapped by a guy for 15 years before I guess right around the time she was born. She was a little girl raised in the woods, obviously in seclusion, because her father was what we like to call a fugitive. And she was raised by this man, and she had a great relationship with her dad, because she didn't really know the whole context about what her dad was doing to her mother. So of course he gets caught one day, goes to prison for several years. This is about a 15-20 year jump. Now she's 30-year-old married woman, has a kid of her own, has a daughter of her own, and her old man, while being transferred from one prison to another, manages to escape. And now he's found a way back into her life, and she's basically fighting for the sake of her family, her identity. She had changed her entire identity so that nobody would even know that she was related to this man, because obviously her story was like a national news story and whatnot. But this is the best thing that I can say about this film is that they ended up creating Daisy Ridley, a character that Disney wishes that they can create for, and it's this idea that Disney wanted her to be the representation of this strong female lead, but the way that they go about doing it, which is the way a lot of these people go about doing it, is that they never give her any adversity. She's immediately one of the best ever to do it, and she only gets better as time progresses here. Here she starts off as a little girl, kind of blinded by the trauma of her life. Then it all coming right down in her face. She pretty much spends the next 20 years of her life struggling to deal with the reality of her tragic upbringing, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, her family's ties comes back to deal with her. So she has to struggle not only as a woman, as a mother, as a wife, and there's a lot of compelling family drama here. And I'm sitting here watching this, and it's like, wow, this is literally the first time I've ever seen Daisy Ridley in anything where I've actually liked her as a character. And I'm shocked to say this, that when I tell you that this is the best Daisy Ridley film that she's ever been in, this truly is the best film. It's kind of more of I want to say a low tier, I wouldn't say a low tier A film, but it is kind of a high tier B movie. It's not very expensive to make. There's only a handful of scenes, but the scenery is so well shot, it makes it feel like it's bigger than when it actually is. But it's one of those type of bottle films that focuses more on story and character and lets all the other gimmicks thrown those out of the window. This is actually a very good film. I think the ending of the film, it was a little too formulaic, which is why I couldn't give it a higher grade than I wanted to. But this will probably end up being an honorable mention in my top 10 of the year. I give this one a solid 10. A 7 out of 10 rating. I'll have a review up for Bounding over the weekend. But yeah, this movie is actually pretty good. And like I said, I don't know that this is another Friday Night Movie Club. We do movie reviews here, so I'm giving you guys my movie review portion of the show. Marsh King's Daughter. It's out in theaters right now. If you have an opportunity to go see see it this weekend, check it out. It is the best Daisy Ridley that you're arguably going to see out of anything that she's ever done. And they actually found the way to get emotion out of the character. There's a breakdown scene, like I want to say not halfway into this movie, where it's like, oh wow, she's actually acting for like the first time in her life. And then as a female character, I actually feel something for her, because yeah, she's been put in a completely like shitty situation that she had absolutely no control of, and that she's trying to overcome it. So it's like, yeah, this is a great film that I would definitely recommend here for guys who hasn't seen this movie before. So if you have any questions or comments, you can ask me right now.
Well, I would just say that it might be a case of Daisy Ridley just being one of those actresses that is going to be as good as her material. So if she's given really bad material like the Star Wars films, she might not be any good. But if she's given material that's more competent, she might be able to do something better. I don't dislike her, but I don't really know enough about her film. Didn't she also do that mind reading movie where they're on a planet and they had to kill all the women?
Oh, Chaos Walking.
Yeah, Chaos Walking. Yeah, that's
that
really
was
all.
A horrible movie.
That was a horrible movie, but it might be a case of just giving an actress a good part, good material, or at least better material, and she might actually be good in it. So you never know.
You know, it's one of those things where we don't know her as an actress, because I mean, I've watched her in the Star Wars movie that I've seen her in, and she was just a plain face. But I mean, the film itself was a blank sheet of paper. That it's so to like, I can't really judge her. I haven't watched the other things, so in that in that regard, I have to do more research. But I have to wonder, like, is this an epidemic in Hollywood in which we're maybe not seeing what actors and actresses do have to offer, given how terrible direction is and how terrible writing is across the board, possibly?
Yeah, and I think a big part of that is that, like I said, this is coming from the same writer who wrote The Revenant. So it's coming from a competent filmmaker, and you just see the night and day difference of when you put someone in charge who actually knows what he's doing and knows how to write characters and how to present characters, versus the writers that Disney hires who's only worried about, hey, we got a Indian girl to be the lead of our film, and she has one leg, and all the diversity and whatnot. And then you put people in charge who actually write characters that are compelling, and you go, oh crap, now I can see this person in a completely different light because she's actually working with someone who knows what the hell they're doing. Like, even in this sequence here where there's a scene where she's literally trying to hunt down her father in the woods, and you think that it's going to go into typical, like, oh, girl boss, she's going to overcome all the odds, and she really doesn't. Like, she gets her ass handed to her quite a few times throughout the scene, and it's like,
so what you're describing is a character that actually has, like, a personality, is realistic, that you basically, she was presented a character that she can actually show that she has some acting talent with, because all these female characters nowadays, it's like we've regressed. Like, I remember, listening to the casting for Gone with the Wind, and how everyone and their mother wanted to play Scarlet, because at the time that was like the most wanted, the most wanted job in Hollywood. Every woman on earth wanted to prove what they have in them through that character, because it's such a rarity to have a character to that level in a film as a female. So I feel as though we're literally regressing to the point where all these shit slung characters do not have the potential to show if these actresses do have any talent at all. They're worthless in terms of how they are as a character.
Again, I think it goes back to the material. When you talk about Gone with the Wind, one of the things is that in the book and in the film, Scarlet is hardly perfect. In many ways, she's a very horrible character, but she's also a survivor. So she's willing to struggle, and she's willing to push people out of the way and destroy people to keep what she believes is her birthright, which is Terra. And yeah, that's what made the part appealing. Here, we've had a series of films where they want to portray positive role models for women, but what they end up doing is making them perfect. They're one of the Mary Sues. So you're never going to have a conflict, and you're never really going to care about her. And Cassie, real quick, you know what the response was when Vivian Leigh was cast in the South?
Pure hatred. They hated it.
No, they kind of did,
At
but they did say better an English girl than a Yankee. So
yeah.
But again, it goes back to the material. Some actors can elevate the material. Some actors are only as good as their material. So Daisy Ridley may be an actress who is as good as her material. And who knows, maybe this will be the beginning. This is again why I always say, back in the studio days, you started an actress or actor in small parts rather than just throw them in there and say, okay, you're going to be a big star because we say so. No. You build them up slowly. Maybe she's finally course correcting in her career. So, I hope so. I mean, if I get a chance to see it, hopefully I will. But I'm still too overwhelmed with Barbie and that turning point in cinematic history.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Cider agrees with me. We are enough.
So yeah, like I said, if you're interested in watching a good film, a solid movie, and seeing Daisy Ridley in a completely different light you've seen her in the past, definitely go check out this movie while it's available in theaters right now. It's like I said, solid 7 out of 10 film for those who haven't seen it. So there's my movie recommendation of the day. So before we cap off with our film here, I do want to watch a little show that me and Rick have always talked about, and I figure that the best context is to watch it here with you, since you're the person here who can translate for us. Because I believe you speak Spanish, right? Is that
Are you talking to me or to La Boricua?
I'm talking to any one of the Boricuas here.
I'm not a Boricua.
There you are.
Boricua is specifically Puerto Rican.
Yeah, I'm a Chicano. I'm a Chicano ese Holmes.
I just figured you was all the same, so I didn't know there was any kind of sense.
Oh, trust me. If you assume that a Puerto Rican or a Cuban is a Mexican, you'll never hear the end of it.
The way that I've always said is that, hey, if you're in New York, you're Puerto Rican. If you're in Florida, you're Cuban. If you're in California, you're Mexican. And then somewhere in between there may be some El Salvadorians, but we don't really acknowledge them, so who cares?
Jesus.
I consider salt a spice, so
yeah. Try for the.
I'd hate to eat at your dinner table. Just saying.
Mm-hmm. Spencer's asking us real quick if we could stream Echo.
Hey, I like paprika.
Mm-hmm.
I do too. But then again, you can't go by me because I never put hot sauce on anything. I'm like the only Mexican.
I like jalapenos.
I don't put pico de gallo. I'm scared of that stuff.
Okay. Jalapenos on my cheeseburgers.
So let me go ahead and ask you two here, our Hispanic representation of the show. Which one of you guys would know more about a little show called Sábado Gigante?
Oh, I do. With Don Francisco?
Of it.
Yeah, Don Francisco, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So maybe you guys can tell me what the hell's going on here. So let's just go ahead and play a little bit of this, and then you guys can explain to me what the point of any of this show has to do.
Tienen que vivir juntos antes de casarse para poder conocerse mejor. Una pareja no se conoce simplemente porque son novios y salen los fines de semana y se ven.
By the way, so I love the context of the show. It's like it's part game show, it's part like talk show. There's like a variety element to it as well.
I think they're debating whether or not to shack up.
Usar eso nomás para conocerse y no para unirse como una pareja. Para eso está el matrimonio, para unirse como pareja. Ellos deben de saber de que hay dos cosas. Si ellos se unen,
it feels like it's one of these shows where it's like, so what's going to be the point of the show? Somebody just said yes.
It's like Mexican Price is Right.
Porque cuando uno se une, uno va a convivir. Lo más importante que uno va a tener es amor. Y cuando uno se casa o cuando uno convive, uno está compartiendo el amor.
¿Qué dice? A ver, ¿qué dice Julio?
Bueno, lo que yo digo es que el matrimonio yo pienso que es algo muy importante porque no es solamente con nosotros, sino es con Dios y con la sociedad. Entonces lo que yo pienso es que casándose es lo más correcto porque viviendo juntos es como lo mismo.
Now, see, here's the thing. You watch the show, you think, okay, this is like one show. And then you'll turn around later on in the same episode, and then you'll get this. So then you have to explain to people how this is all in the same show as well.
It's a sketch.
Estamos de aniversario y tenemos que celebrar, pues. ¿Y qué te parece a ti, Chichapareche, Mr. Douglas, aquí no encuentra?
What the fuck's under his nose?
His little mustache. Or nose hair.
That's nose hair? Looks like he's hunting a tarantula.
tremenda fiesta tienes aquí, caballero.
Toma.
Look, it's Waluigi.
Yo no puedo tomar porque estoy manejando. No importa, maneja Ricky Martin.
This fucking nose is killing me, bro.
Well, he's a chauffeur, and he can't drink.
I don't think that's a gimmick nose either. I think that's his real nose.
Pero para eso estoy yo, que es lo mismo.
No, no es lo mismo, cuatro, no es lo mismo. No, no.
Cici.
Oh, okay. Now we got the requisite.
No, it got good. It's great. This is amazing.
No, I love this show now.
It's great.
Gracias, Tónico, te agradezco mucho, pero yo nada más vine un momentico a buscar la
Shusha?
nota de Don Francisco, que es la próxima
I
que
don't
viene,
care who it
la de
is.
los animales.
I don't care who it is.
No se preocupe, Cici, que aquí estoy yo, que eché de hecho y me preocupo por todo. Ya yo tengo las jaulas para los animales preparadas.
Bonito, y la jaula del gorila está bien asegurada.
Yo che, yo me encargo de todo. Me compré un candado especial para...
No sé que tengamos problemas con eso.
Special lock.
¿Qué
pasa, ñañito?
He's gonna shit himself. Oh wait, no, never mind.
I forgot the special lock, and I think the animal's gonna get out.
El gorila? La jaula está vacía.
What is Mexican Michael J. Fox doing here?
Technically, Don Francisco is Chilean.
Si no lo tenemos, Don Francisco se va a poner furioso. Ahora hay que evacuar.
It's Mexican Johnny Depp.
¡Al gorila!
¡Al gorila! Difícil, a esta hora ya debe estar cojalía.
¡Ay, Dios mío! Yo dejé la puerta del garaje abierta. Ay, caramba, estamos fregados. No hay gorila, no hay nota.
I love how we're really trying to like decipher this television show, which is a great.
Well, now it sucks.
Porque
Now it's the worst thing ever.
hay un traje de gorila. Entonces alguien se lo puede colocar y tenemos gorila.
That was great again.
Someone in a gorilla suit. They're gonna dress someone up in a gorilla suit.
Okay.
Okay, we found our suspect who's gonna dress up in a gorilla suit so Don Francisco doesn't get mad that for his anniversary special, they've let the gorilla out. That's what I'm understanding.
All right, I'm on board with this. Let's go on to this one, then we'll wrap it up here. So, this is the game show portion of the show. I think
Hold
this is
on.
far more
Pause
interesting.
it. This guy, he looks like the Gungan King from the first Star Wars Episode 1 thing. He looks like
he
the
does.
Gungan King.
Holy shit.
Oh,
Yeah,
God, dude.
he looks like the Gungan. Now you can't unsee. He's gonna start talking like
Yeah.
Jabba. Jar Jar.
All right, well, I have to explain something here. Don Francisco is actually German. And
Of course he is.
His parents immigrated from I believe, Germany.
Yeah,
and he grew, of course, he grew up as Chilean, and they're actually like German Jews who I don't know if they escaped the Holocaust, but his actual name is like Mario Krautsberger or something like that. But everyone knows him as Don Francisco.
That means that even in Mexico, you're not safe.
He's Chilean. He's not Mexican. Confound it. He's Chilean.
I was thinking the same thing.
He's a Gungan.
He's a Gungan.
Well, speaking of Gungans, there's some Gungans here that I want to talk about here for a second.
Una explicación para el concurso. Ella le pone la goma una detrás de la otra. Cuando tenga la décima, usted camina la campana. Igualmente usted, el primero en tocar la campana, tiene 300 puntos. Prepararse. Atento desde ahora. ¡Ya!
Is this like Double Dare?
I think.
Yeah, they're playing banda music, so it is Mexican. What's great about banda music is that you could play a tuba and be part of a successful band.
I think the one in the red.
Yeah, Los Intocables. Yeah, well, that's a band. Banda Intocable.
Wait, in the red? Oh.
I don't know what's going on here, but keep the game going.
Yeah, make sure they're closer to the red.
It's a race between Republicans and Democrats. See, red.
Yeah. This is a huge game. It's a great game.
I don't know why Gabriel Iglesias is here, but
I have to admit that is accurate.
Is that 5,000 American or is that like 5,000 pesos?
Pesos.
Yeah, it's pesos. That's literally like $12.
I think we did do a show in Miami.
Para Valley Children's Hospital de Fresno, California.
¿Sí?
¡A huevo, raza!
No, it's
Muy
dollars.
bien. Y queremos.
Well, while we figure out the conversion rate on this one, I do want to see
Primer
this quick too.
automóvil, ojalá que la suerte la acompañe, Daniela. Está nerviosa.
The Price is
Muy
Right.
nerviosa,
The
¿no?
racier version.
¿Y usted cuando bailó la samba?
I could watch this.
Technically, that's for
Look at these
Brazilians.
moves. Look at him go.
Brazilians are not. They're
Look
debatable
what's hitting it.
whether they're Hispanic.
Hey, let him go.
Brazilians, Portuguese.
For the record, I just
to him playing Mario. I'm just saying.
for the record, I just did the conversion rate of what 5,000 pesos would be. It's literally
El único
286
que vale
bucks.
1 o 11
Son of
es
a
el as.
bitch.
¿Ok?
Algo es algo.
Usted me puede pedir arriba o abajo. Cada vez que gana, gana $1,000. Se enciende una rueda, otra rueda, otra rueda, otra rueda. Y después el automóvil.
Is it supposed to be Vanna White?
45 correcta. Antes de 2 chacales, se lleva el automóvil. Desde hoy día,
I guess they don't have copyright laws in Mexico, so they can just like rip off the game.
Chile,
Alright.
found it.
He's gonna nick like George Lopez.
Chile. It's not Mexico. Stop saying that.
It's not Mad Max down there.
What's Chile?
Ahí está.
Yes.
Chile, you remember the country where Pinochet was throwing people out of helicopters.
Oh yeah, Chile helicopter guy. I know him.
Menor, yes.
Helicopter, helicopter.
¿Qué le dicen ustedes, público, que es menor?
Based Mexico.
Vamos a la próxima, arriba o abajo.
Barro.
Abajo. 5, la carta de arriba, ¿es mayor o menor?
Higher or lower?
Mayor, yes. Yes.
Lower.
Igual. Vamos a la próxima.
Higher.
Arriba, abajo.
It's like
The rooftop Korean in Rumble says it's almost as bad as Asians hating each other.
¿Qué dice el
Well,
público?
at least the girls look hot.
Lower.
Well, some of them do anyway.
Yeah, okay, it's higher.
I can only imagine what they look like now. I mean,
¿Quiere irse con los $1,000? ¿Quiere buscar el
Why is there a
automóvil?
ZZ Top car at the top?
¿Quiere buscar el automóvil? Si sale el segundo chacal, lo pierde todo, no importa. La próxima en la 4.
Look at there's a ZZ car top car.
Barro.
Abajo. Abajo.
Bathroom?
Muy bien. La carta de arriba,
Lower,
mayor o
lower.
menor.
So,
¿Qué dice
yeah,
el
so you have to
público?
decide if the other card is higher or
Menor.
lower than the one you
Menor,
picked.
yes. Menor.
We're gonna go huge. We're gonna go all the way in.
$1,000. Ay, ay, ay.
And
Piénselo bien que tiene
I think
$2,000.
there's a
Se
car
quiere ir con los
involved. I think she'll
$2,000.
win
El
the car.
próximo
Regina's
chacal
turn
lo pierde
around.
todo. ¿Ah?
Continúo.
¿Ah?
Continúo.
Continúa. En portugués,
It's a
continúa.
crunchy noodle.
Continúa.
she's
Crunchy noodle.
Brazilian. She's
Arriba.
Brazilian.
Arriba. Qué bueno, arriba.
that means she's Portuguese.
If I can do that right. Arriba.
No, Brazil, they speak Portuguese.
Mayor, yes.
Arriba.
Mayor. Tiene $3,000.
So she has $3,000.
Quero a carta. Quero pegar uma carta.
¿Quieres pegar la carta? ¿Arriba o abajo?
Arriba.
Now she's gonna pick high.
Abajo.
Abajo is below.
So we have a German Jew speaking Mexican to a Brazilian
He's not
Portuguese.
Mexican. Stop it,
La
Jacob.
carta arriba, mayor o
They
menor.
get-
Not Mexican.
Menor.
Menor,
Okay, now you're
yes.
trolling me.
Menor. Tiene
We're gonna go
$4,000.
to number 9.
Tiene $4,000. ¿Qué
Okay, now
dice?
she has $4,000.
Quiere llevarse los 4,000.
You can take the
Con un chacal
4,000,
más lo pierde todo.
or if she gets it,
Continúa, continúa.
continua. Okay, so
More crunchy noodles.
Abajo.
Arriba.
Piénselo bien. Continúa.
More
¿Qué
crunchy
dice
noodles.
público?
Continuo.
Continúa. Arriba,
Crunchy
abajo.
noodle.
Arriba.
Arriba.
6. ¿Qué dicen de la carta
Seis.
de abajo?
Muy bien.
mayor o menor?
now the public's gonna tell her if it's higher or lower, and then she's gonna decide.
It's lower.
Menor.
Menor.
Menor,
yes.
lower. Oh, so she lost.
No, you have to go to the cartel now.
No
Oh,
dejó el
that's
auto
about
para la
you.
And that's,
Oh,
you know
boy.
what, Jacob? You didn't even play El Chacal, which is the really bizarre part of the show.
Maybe we'll end with that one.
Yeah,
we have
you
to-
know what that is. For those who don't know, okay, since I have seen Sábado Gigante, not often, but once in a while, El Chacal, I think that's what it's called. There's a kind of like a talent show where people sing, and this guy dressed like a Spanish Inquisition auto de fe executioner. If he doesn't like you, play the
He
trumpet.
kills you.
Well, no, he'll play the trumpet.
I
and
hope
then
so.
everyone will just say "fuera, fuera," which is get out, get out.
Wait a minute.
Which is what I'm
That-
usually told when I'm
That
a kid.
gesture.
Fuera,
That
fuera.
gesture.
This is why I like Japanese game shows, because the risk of death is way higher and people just don't care. They just go for that. They sign the waiver. They're like, if I die, I'll bring honor to my family.
What if it's
Let's
a-
go.
Is this why you don't see Korean like game shows?
No, they're too busy getting plastic surgery to compete with each other.
Well, Cider, in fairness, I'm sure the show was more, Sábado Gigante might have been more dangerous when Pinochet could throw you off the helicopter.
I didn't realize it was on the air when he was like, I don't know how he allowed that.
I don't know if it was on the show.
Wait,
He might have been a contestant.
Wait a minute.
South Korea.
Even better.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me there's a show where a guy throws a guy off of a helicopter like high up?
No.
Pinochet was the leader of Chile right now. He would sell that as a pay-per-view event. You would have to pay him to watch him throw communists out of helicopters.
And I would watch it. I would watch it.
Mm-hmm.
I
It would be the highest selling pay-per-view of all time.
If he just fucking started kicking him off the plane the whole time, I'd watch it.
I'll say this much. I know that some of the Hamas people want to conquer Spain. That wouldn't happen if Franco were still in charge. I can promise you that. Franco wouldn't put up with that. He would have just killed all of them. He killed everyone. So that's
Yep,
okay.
Cordoba all over again.
Well, you guys know the deal. We're gonna go ahead and hop over to our Rumble page and our Twitch page. So I'm gonna go ahead and link both of the links over here to you guys right now. So if you're on YouTube, hop over to Rumble or Twitch so you guys can watch the movie with us. We're gonna take a quick little intermission, and I got something a little special for you guys, especially if you guys love Bill Cosby rap. So see you guys in a second.
Kids, listen to the rap music. Kids.